Hey family, this is day 41 of our Reading Through the Bible Together in a Year series. Today we're covering Numbers chapters 11 through 13. This is Israel is heading off into the wilderness after being at Mount Sinai for just over a year, and we're going to get into the testings of Israel of God in the wilderness. So let's see how that goes. Now the people were saying evil against Yahweh, and Yahweh, hearing it, was angry and sent fire on them, burning the outer parts of the tent circle. And the people made an outcry to Moshe, and Moshe made prayer to Yahweh, and the fire was stopped. So that place was named Taberah, because of the fire of Yahweh which had been burning among them. And the mixed band of people who went on with them were overcome by desire, and the children of Israel, weeping again, said, Who will give us flesh for our food? Sweet is the memory of the fish we had in Egypt for nothing, and the fruit and green plants of every sort, sharp and pleasing to the taste. But now our soul is wasted away. There is nothing at all. We have nothing but this manna before our eyes. Now the manna was like a seed of grain, like small clear drops. The people went about taking it up from the earth, crushing it between stones or hammering it into powder, and boiling it in pots. And they made cakes of it. Its taste was like the taste of cakes cooked with oil. When the dew came down on the tents at night, the manna came down with it. And at the sound of the people weeping, every man at his tent door, the wrath of Yahweh was great, and Moshe was very angry. And Moshe said to Yahweh, Why have you done me this evil? And why have I not grace in your eyes, that you have put on me the care of all this people? Am I the father of all this people? Have I given them birth, that you say to me, Take them in your arms, like a child at the breast, to the land which you gave by an oath to their fathers? Where am I to get flesh to give all this people? For they are weeping to me and saying, Give us flesh for our food. I am not able by myself to take the weight of all this people, for it is more than my strength. If this is to be my fate, put me to death now in answer to my prayer, if I have grace in your eyes, and let me not see my shame. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Send for 70 of the responsible men of Israel, who are in your opinion men of weight and authority over the people. Make them come to the tent of meeting and be there with you. And I will come down and have a talk with you there, and I will take some of the spirit which is on you and put it on them, and they will take part of the weight of the people off you, so that you do not have to take it by yourself. And say to the people, Make yourselves clean before tomorrow, and you will have flesh for your food. For in the ears of Yahweh you have been weeping and saying, Who will give us flesh for our food? For we were well off in Egypt, and so Yahweh will give you flesh, and it will be your food. Not for 1 day only, or even for 5 or 10 or 20 days, but every day for a month, until you are tired of it, turning from it in disgust, because you have gone against Yahweh who was with you, and have been weeping before him, saying, Why did we come out of Egypt? Then Moshe said, The people among whom I am are 600,000 men on foot, and you have said, I will give them flesh to be their food for a month. Are flocks and herds to be put to death for them? Are all the fish in the sea to be got together, so they may be full? And Yahweh said to Moshe, Has Yahweh's hand become short? Now you will see if my word comes true for you or not. And Moshe went out and gave the people the words of Yahweh. And he took 70 of the responsible men of the people, placing them around the tent. Then Yahweh came down in the cloud and had talk with them, and put on the 70 men some of the spirit which was on him. Now when the Spirit came to rest on them, they were like prophets, but only at that time. But 2 men were still in the tent circle, one of them named Eldad, and the other Medad. And the Spirit came to rest on them. They were among those who had been sent for, but they had not gone out to the tent. And the prophet's power came on them in the tent circle. And a young man went running to Moshe and said, Eldad and Medad are acting as prophets in the tent circle. Then Yehoshua, the son of Nun, who had been Moshe's servant from the time when he was a child, said, My lord Moshe, let them be stopped. And Moshe said to him, Are you moved by envy on my account? If only all Yahweh's people were prophets, and Yahweh might put his spirit on them. Then Moshe, with the responsible men of Israel, went back to the tent circle. Then Yahweh sent a wind, driving little birds from the sea, so that they came down on the tents and all around the tent circle, about a day's journey on this side and on that, in masses about 2 cubits high over the face of the earth. And all that day and all night and the day after, the people were taking up the birds. The smallest amount which anyone got was 10 omers, and they put them out all around the tents. But while the meat was still between their teeth, Before it was tasted, the wrath of Yahweh was moved against the people, and he sent a great outburst of disease on them. So that place was named Kibroth Hata'avah, because there they put in the earth the bodies of the people who had given way to their desires. From Kibroth Hata'avah the people went on to Hazorot, and there they put up their tents. Now Miriam and Aaron said evil against Moshe because of the Cushite woman to whom he was married, for he had taken a Cushite woman as his wife. And they said, "Have the words of Yahweh been given to Moshe only? Have they not come to us?" And Yahweh took note of it. Now the man Moshe was more gentle than any other man on earth. And suddenly Yahweh said to Moshe and Aaron and Miriam, "Come out, you three, to the tent of meeting." And the three of them went out, and Yahweh came down in a pillar of cloud, taking his place at the door of the tent, and made Aaron and Miriam come before him. And he said, "Now give ear to my words. If there is a prophet among you, I will give him knowledge of myself in a vision, and will let my words come to him in a dream. My servant Moshe is not so. He is true to me in all my house. With him I will speak mouth to mouth, openly and not in dark sayings. And with his eyes he will see the form of Yahweh. Why then had you no fear of saying evil against my servant Moshe?" And burning with wrath against them, Yahweh went away. And the cloud was moved from over the tent, and straightway Miriam became a leper, as white as snow. And Aaron, looking at Miriam, saw that she was a leper. Then Aaron said to Moshe, "O my Lord, let not our sin be on our heads, for we have done foolishly and are sinners. Let her not be as one dead, whose flesh is half wasted when he comes out from the body of his mother." And Moshe, crying to Yahweh, said, "Let my prayer come before you, O God, and make her well." And Yahweh said to Moshe, "If her father had put a mark of shame on her, would she not be shamed for 7 days? Let her be shut up outside the tent circle for 7 days, and after that she may come out again." So Miriam was shut up outside the tent circle for 7 days, and the people did not go forward on their journey until Miriam had come in again. After that the people went on from Hatzerot and put up their tents in the wasteland of Paran. And Yahweh said to Moshe, "Send men to get knowledge about the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the children of Israel. From every tribe of their fathers you are to send a man, every one a chief among them." And Moshe sent them from the wasteland of Paran, as Yahweh gave orders, all of them men who were heads of the children of Israel. And these were their names: of the tribe of Reuven, Shammua the son of Zachur; of the tribe of Shimon, Shaphat the son of Hori; of the tribe of Yehuda, Kalev the son of Yefuneh; of the tribe of Yisachar, Igal the son of Yosef; of the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea the son of Nun; of the tribe of Benjamin, Palti the son of Raphu; of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel the son of Sodi; of the tribe of Yosef, that is, of the family of Manasseh, Gadi the son of Susi; of the tribe of Dan, Amiel the son of Gamali; of the tribe of Osher, Setur the son of Michael; of the tribe of Naphtali, Nachbi the son of Vossi; of the tribe of Gad, Gevel the son of Machi. These are the names of the men whom Moshe sent to get knowledge about the land. And Moshe gave to Hoshea the son of Nun the name of Yehoshua. So Moshe sent them to have a look at the land of Canaan, and said to them, "Go up into the south and into the hill country, and see what the land is like, and if the people living in it are strong or feeble, small or great in number, and what sort of land they are living in, if it is good or bad, and what their living places are, tent circles or walled towns, and if the land is fertile or poor, and if there is wood in it or not. And be of good heart, and come back with some of the produce of the land." Now it was the time when the first grapes were ready, so they went up and got a view of the land, from the wasteland of Zin to Rehob, on the way to Hamath. They went up into the south and came to Hebron, and Ahiman and Sheshai and Talmai, the children of Anak, were living there. Now the building of Hebron took place 7 years before that of Zoan in Egypt. And they came to the valley of Eschol, and cutting down a vine branch with its grapes, 2 of them took it on a rod between them, and they took some pomegranates and figs. That place was named the valley of Eschol, because of the grapes which the children of Israel took from there. At the end of 40 days they came back from viewing the land. And they came back to Moshe and Aaron and all the children of Israel, to Kadesh in the wasteland of Paran, and gave an account to them and to all the people, and let them see the produce of the land. And they said, "We came to the land where you sent us, and truly it is flowing with milk and honey, and here is some of the produce of it. But the people living in the land are strong, and the towns are walled and very great. Further, we saw the children of Anak there, and the Amalekites are in the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites are living in the hill country, and the Canaanites by the sea and by the side of Jordan." Then Caleb made signs to the people to keep quiet, and said to Moshe, "Let us go up straight away and take this land, for we are well able to overcome it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." And they gave the children of Israel a bad account of the land they had been to see, saying, "This land through which we went is a land causing destruction to those living in it, and all the people we saw there are men of more than common size. There we saw those great men, the sons of Anak, offspring of the Nephilim, and we seemed to ourselves no more than insects, and so we seemed to them." Well, we can see that Moses is starting to get frustrated. It's almost like he's really getting tired of these Israelites who keep complaining and keep wanting to go back to Egypt. A lot of pressure is on Moses this whole time, but now he's really starting to show it. But I think the two things that are interesting about today's reading is that when the people complain about not having enough meat, and then God sends them so much for a month that they get sick. It's just this idea of like, fine, you want abundance, you want it your way, have it. I'll give you so much. And then people are like, yeah, let me eat all these birds. And they do. And people go to the point of overindulging, becoming gluttonous. I mean, are we not the same way sometimes? Do we just ask for blessing after blessing after blessing, and then we like use all of these blessings for our own benefit, and we overconsume and we overgluttonize to the point of we're sick and we have all these mental challenges of anxiety and depression, and it's almost like all of these good things in our life and not enough strife is actually bad for us. So I think that's an interesting connection there. But I also like this next part, even though it's a little complicated if you don't really have a good Bible study on it. But the idea that Aaron and Miriam come to Moses and they complain about him. One, because he's has gotten a new Cushite wife, and they're not very happy about him marrying somebody outside of Israel. But either way, they come with this complaint of like, does God not also speak to us? Are we not as important as you, Moses? And then God shows up, he says, "Come to the tent, all three of you." And he speaks to Miriam and Aaron, and he says, "I talk to prophets and other people, and I give them knowledge through visions and dreams. But Moses, I talk face to face." Now, what makes you think that you can go and complain about Moses? Like, what gives you the right to think that you can talk down to somebody that I speak face to face with? I think that's powerful. And I don't remember this story from growing up, but it's just this idea that God lifted Moses out of higher than the status of any regular prophet or priest, and that God and Moses had a face-to-face relationship. I mean, he says, "I speak with him mouth to mouth," which is a weird turn of phrase, but how important Moses was in God's eyes. And when you would take that into a Christian context, I mean, the entire book of Matthew is trying to show Jesus as the new Moses or the greater Moses. And so that's, even more interesting and even more clout towards Jesus. And so I hope you have something to think about on this wonderful day.